Hi, Luke from Korg here. Today I'm going to show you the Volca Bass. This is our analog bass synthesizer from our Volca range. Super compact and portable, and most importantly, sounds massive when you stack those three oscillators together. So the way I'm going to show you this today is I'm actually going to make a sequence straight away because we've got a 16-step sequencer built into here. And then I can start sculpting the sound and show you how you can manipulate that in interesting ways. So let's get the sequencer running. I've already initialized it. So let's press record. So we've got a pattern in there. As you can see, we've got a chromatic keyboard, so I can play in any pitches I want, and I can shift the octave here when I'm playing live. Okay, let's listen to the envelope, for example. We can change the attack, so we can soften that up a little bit or bring it back. We can change the decay and release, make it more elongated or more snappy. We can actually change the VCOs themselves as well. You've actually got three of them. You're only hearing one at the moment, but we can change the waveform. So we can change it to a square wave, or we can switch back to a saw wave. And we can actually stack them on top of each other and change the pitches as well. So let's bring in VCO2. So as you can hear, it instantly thickens up the sound, and then we can start the tuning. Let's stick on VCO3 as well. As you can hear, that's an octave down. Or we can put it in unison, go back down the octave. And all three VCOs, you can change the waves as well. So they can be saw wave or square wave. Let's start tweaking the filter now. So this is the cutoff control. So we can soften up the sound or make it brighter. We can also use peak, or sometimes called resonance, to bring in those higher frequencies, to make it growl a little bit, sound a little bit more aggressive, or more 303 like. We can also send the filter to the envelope as well. Which is really cool. Let's have a play with the LFO. So we're going to bring in the intensity. And at the moment it's set to cut off. And then we can change the rate. But we could also get that to sync with note values as well. So we can get that little bump going, which is nice. And then just bring that in and out with the intensity. So really cool to play around with all the synth elements in the Volca Bass there. But the sequencer is really powerful as well. And you've actually got 8 different memories you can save your patterns into. And you can recall those very easily. You just hold down memory and then recall one of them, say, number 2 there. Or maybe a different one. So you'll hear something like that, and you'll notice there's lots of different things going on, and that's because the VCO group on this one is set to 3 separate entities. So you're hearing 3 different tracks essentially in the sequencer, and then we can mute them to hear that there's very different things going on there on the 3 different parts. There are also different ways to record as well. So before we recorded in what we call live mode, so I literally just hit record and then performed in, and that can be from this chromatic keyboard here, or from a MIDI keyboard as well, which is really cool. But you've also got step record. So I can hold down function and press the last key there to initialize the pattern, and then also hold down function and press record, and then we're in step record mode. And then we can basically just step in notes. We can also leave gaps by pressing record. and then hit play, and we'll play back that sequence. Let's group the oscillators together to thicken up the sound. You've also got slide edit as well, which is really good. So let's just, again, clear that pattern, do a live recording this time. Hit record. So what you can do is you can change this octave and record it into the sequence like this. And then if I go into slide edit, you'll see it's put glide on those notes when I went between the different octaves. But you can actually just get rid of that if you want to. So it gives you the choice. So it's really neat to be able to get in and change those slide parameters per step. So it's pretty powerful. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to show you some of the other connections on the Volca Bass. So the MIDI in, we briefly mentioned a minute ago, but also you've got sync in and out to connect to other Volcas and other Korg gear as well. Okay, so we're all connected up. I've brought in my micro key controller keyboard here and also a Volca sample so I can show you these connections. So the first thing I want to show you is the sync in and out. So we've got a cable which comes included. I've gone sync out of the Volca Bass into the Volca sample, and that means the timing will be completely locked between the two, and the Volca Bass will dictate the tempo. So for instance, if I start my drum machine going, Volca sample, and then start my Volca Bass, they'll be locked into the same tempo. And then if I change the tempo of my Volca Bass, you can see this is the BPM here on the screen, this is following. It also means you've got a sync out then of the Volca sample, which you can then daisy chain onto another device should you want to. And you can keep daisy chaining as many times as you want and everything will be locked in and synced together timing wise. We've also got MIDI built in as well. So it's really handy having a MIDI port on there. So it's MIDI in. That means you can also use that for MIDI clock. So you can actually clock from an external source, like another keyboard or a computer, for instance, to bring your Volcas into that kind of digital domain with your DAWs, etc. But you can also, of course, trigger notes as well via MIDI. I've got this connected via USB host. So I can just play via MIDI. And what's great is that I can then use this keyboard to input my notes in patterns as well. So let's get this going again. Clear the pattern that was in there before. Put it into record mode. And I can easily just play a very simple pattern with my keyboard. Okay, so I've shown you most of the connections, but we've also got a mini jack out here, so you can use that for headphones or a line output like we're doing today. But if you take that out, you can actually hear the speaker that's inside, and that's a great way to monitor your sounds when you're on the move. You've also got the option of using a power supply if you want to, but we're using the included batteries today. So there you go. That is the Volca Bass, our incredible fully analog bass synthesizer. You can use it anywhere, fully portable, nice and compact, and sounds amazing. Go and check it out.